Hello everybody. So as promised, here are the settings for the different algos that I use. First of all, this is not financial advice. These algos, they trade based on historical performance. So if you have a very volatile asset, which all of a sudden becomes more stable, your algo would not work that well anymore. So what I do is like once every half a year, I would go over the settings again and check whether they are still performant enough. Can also be in a different way that and that's what you usually see, that a certain asset is quite stable and then all of a sudden it becomes very volatile. So for example, Amazon and Apple, or such examples, Tesla as well. So Tesla, for years it has been trading in the range, and then last year it really boomed. So the ones that I use is, for example, the turtle strategy. You go to indicators in TradingView, type turtle, and then you go for turtle system from Eugene 71. What you get is something like this. And then I modified that script so it looks a bit different in the script that I use compared to his original one. So stop N is for me stop input 2.6. Risk of capital that I don't use, that I removed from the source code. Because here in properties you can already choose your order size. Although, yeah, this is a risk of capital and this is the size. Anyway, you always should trade what you can lose. So in theory, this would be 100%. But if I put it on 100%, then it doesn't calculate perfectly your P&L. So I don't really know what setting this should be. Anyway, if somebody is interested in the source code of what I use, then let me know in the comments of the video below. I can always paste it somewhere so you can copy it. So pyramid input, this would be pyramid N, maximum pyramid units. So that's how many trades it will take. So for me, this is here at the bottom, order max number, which is 5. So that means it will buy 5 times. And if it gets more buy signals, it won't do anything. ATR period, that's also one I removed. I've hard-coded this number 14. I mean, there are already enough variables to change. So ATR period, I always take 14. L1 long is here, this L1 long input. L2 long input is L2 long. L1 long exit, L1 long exit input. And then L2 long exit is the L2 long exit input. From year that I usually change to the year 1900, because I believe by default it's 2012. I always prefer to backtest on a full chart. And then order size, I always take 100% of equity. Yeah, maybe a small note on why I don't publish my source code. It's because it's a copy from an existing one, and TradingView doesn't like that. I have tried it already in the past, but they say that you need to contact the original author to change his script, but his original script is fine. I just would like to personalize it, and yeah, that's not allowed. You cannot publish that. So okay, it is what it is. And TradingView also doesn't allow you to publish scripts with order size 100% of equity, because it gives a too good result than it in reality is. But I mean, how can you backtest if you only allow a certain size of your equity? Of course, you can test it like that, but I don't really find it the best way of testing, because usually you would allocate already a certain percentage of your capital to, let's say in this case, for example, Apple. So that amount that you allocate is actually 100% which goes to Apple. So I would like to know how this, if you have $1,000, for example, and you assign $200 to Apple, then you would like to know how those $200 are performing in the long run, you don't, from this $200, you don't want to trade only 1%, for example. So, but yeah, those are the community rules from TradingView. So, okay, I'm not going to further discuss those ones. All right, so Apple, these are the settings. I will hide the indicator here. Alibaba, just pause the video if you want to take over those numbers. Disney, in Google, MasterCard, Meta, Microsoft, Nasdaq, Nike, Nvidia, which made a nice gap over here, Palantir, here we have Tesla, and then we switch to the cryptos. So we have XRP, and then we have XLM, Lumen. And this is an interesting one. If you do your backtesting, you will find out with Turtle Strategy, if I fill those in. So, sorry. We have 1.5, 0.4, 12, 48, 13, 20, and we allow 5 times pyramiding. Then we end up with a net profit of 327,000%, but when we look at max drawdown, 1,740%. And that's something I can't, maybe it is my wrong interpretation, but if you lose 100% of your capital, you're at zero. So how can you lose 1,740% of your capital? So it means you go negative. So this is strange, and I don't trust this. So but on the other hand, if you then switch over to the ATR trailing stop, and then with the setting 2 and 35, let's double check, 235, yes, then we have more or less the same percentage, but maximum drawdown is 68%. Which gives me more confidence, those results. So for me, as I mentioned here, too risky. ATR trailing stop has the same performance, so I rather trade the ATR trailing stop. So ATR trailing stop, this one is a ATR TSS. Here are community scripts, ATR trailing stop strategy by Okadoki. And then you get this one, where max days back to test is 360 by default. You take that out, change it to 0, and in this case we want to test with 0, so 3.5, and then we get more or less the same result, but the difference is explained because I switch it to euro. And now you see 332,000, that's exactly the same. So this one works pretty out of the box. Just for the turtle strategy, that's a bit, it's a bit trickier. Then Bitcoin, here are the different settings. And then Ethereum. Then on the 1 hour chart, we have the super trend. This is also out of the box. You type super trend, and then with the technicals, you have here the super trend strategy. So there, you fill in 3 and 29. And then for Ethereum, 16, 16. Also keep in mind when you test on the 1 hour time frame, you only have a limited amount of candles that you look back. I think it's like half a year you look back. So that means your algo, how to say, it might not perform as well in a bull market as in a bear market. So this is one you have to watch closely, because for example, for this one, for Ethereum, when I originally tested it, it had a much higher profit rate. Now it dropped to 784, but if we look at the buy and hold, we're at 116, so we're still beating the market. So we're doing 7 times better. So this is something to keep in mind. Only daily candles, there you have the full history from the first trading day till today. For the 1 hour chart, it's not the case. The higher you go on the time frame, so in the 4 hour time frame, you have a much bigger history. 8 hour has even more, until you have daily. There you have the full history. So this is something to take care of. For gold and silver, there I'm still using the old turtles trading strategy. So this one is not correct anymore. So for now, I'm going to ignore those ones. So then euro dollar, also super trend, 529. Nasdaq we already discussed. And then crude oil and copper, unfortunately, since I don't have my Owenda account anymore, I didn't find a better one which replaces it. So for now, I'm not trading those two anymore. But feel free to backtest it. These values should still be valid. And I see for crude oil, I don't have a text box with the values. No. Okay, yeah, this is the old turtle strategy, so we leave it for what it is. And then the cryptos, just Solana was the only one which I didn't discuss yet. So also here ATR 5 and 2.75. All right, okay, that's those are the settings. So as I said, they might change. So it would be good to follow my videos to see whether I change somewhere a value. If I do, then I will clearly mention it in the text box and make sure that it is visible so that you can adapt your own values. All right, this was it. See you next time. Bye-bye.